nas noites que não tem luar.
Hey, what's up YouTube, and welcome back to another video. Thank you guys for tuning in. Today I want to talk about my top 4 favorite plugins on the MPC One, and I also want to share with you guys how I'm using these plugins. Let me know down in the comments, what do you guys be using and how are you guys using it, because we can all benefit from your guys' input as well. These plugins are mainly for my drums. I throw these on my drums. It just adds a little bit more character to my drums. Something else I do want to mention is I'm not mixing on the MPC One, which you guys could mix a full song on the MPC One. It definitely has potential, but as of right now, I'm personally just adding certain elements, adding character with the plugins that it provides us with. So when I export my beat and I put it in Ableton, I'm able to, continue what I had feeling when I was making my beat on the MPC One. Now, these plugins are harmonics, dynamics, and EQs. I'm not really using any reverb or delays in this video. I will touch up on those a little later, but I want to show you guys how I'm able to add a little bit more grit or a little bit more punch to my drums utilizing these 4 plugins. And one last thing before we jump into it, do not forget to hit the like button if you guys find value in this video. It really helps a lot for the channel. And also, if you guys are not subscribed, make sure you subscribe to the channel for more content like this. So let's jump right into it, and I'll see you guys in a bit. All right, so we're right here in the MPC. Here's a beat that I was working on the other day, and I'm gonna show you guys how I'm using these plugins. I'm gonna walk through it. I have the plugins actually right here, the way I had them, but they're all turned off. But before we jump into it, I wanna let you guys hear a before and after with no plugins at all, and then after with the plugins engaged. So let's listen to that first. All right, so there you guys have it. I don't know if you guys are able to listen to the difference, but I could definitely hear a small difference, and also I feel a difference coming through the speakers. Now, again, guys, this is not a night and day difference. These are just small little movements. One of the reasons why I'm enjoying these plugins is because coming from my 2000 XL, my MPC 2000 XL, one thing I've not been able to replicate on this MPC One is the sound quality that I would get from my 2000 XL. My 2000 XL just sounds a little bit more punchier, and after playing around with these plugins, I've been able to get close to that sound that I had on my 2000 XL. If we go to track mix, you have your, if you're on Mixer and if you're on your programs, you got all your programs right here. So you got your drums, you got your sample, and you have your bass. And right now, I'm gonna go to my drums and go to inserts, and on my inserts, I'm gonna show you guys what I have going on right now. We'll start off with the Air Lo-Fi. I'm gonna jump into it. This Lo-Fi plugin is actually really cool because this is the sound that I'm able to get on my 2000 XL. I'm able to bring it into the MPC One. What I'm doing is I'm grabbing my drums, making them go down to a 12-bit sample and 44.1 kilohertz. So it's not as clear, it's not as clean. It's got a little bit of distortion and a little bit of crunch to it. So what I'm gonna do right now, I'm actually going to reset the plugin. So right here, you got your bit depth, and on my 2000 XL is a 12-bit sampler. So what I like to do is I like to bring this down also to a 12-bit sound. What you guys can do, what I'm gonna do right now, I'm gonna hit play. I'm gonna bring it down drastically so you guys can hear what it's doing to your sound. So I'm gonna leave it right there at a 12-bit. And on my sample rate, I'm gonna drop this down to a 44.1 sample rate. I'll let you guys listen to it as I hit play. So I don't know if you guys were able to hear what it's doing to your sound, but it's crunching it up. And you know, if you guys go too low, it sounds a little weird, but I feel like 44.1 or 44.2 is pretty good. Where this plugin gets really interesting is on this distortion section. This distortion section adds kind of like a tape distortion to your samples. And this is very interesting. This is where I'm able to add a little more character, a little bit more punch to my drums. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna start with the clip. So we'll go ahead and do that right now. I don't know if you guys saw what I just did right now, but that's the way I use all these plugins is I go drastically, I listen to what it does to my sound, I bring it back down, and then I readjust it, you know, just barely towards where I can, you know, I'm barely hearing what it's doing. So that right there just kind of crunched up my sound. It dirties it up a bit. Now the rectify, it kind of works together with this clip. And at least for me, when I adjust it, I don't know, it just kind of feels, it feels good to me. So I'm gonna go ahead and hit play. That's pretty much it. That's all I'm gonna do to this. Now I'm gonna go ahead and play before and after so you guys can hear what we've done so far. I don't know if you guys can hear a difference. It's a very subtle difference, but it makes a big difference at the end of your mix. I personally don't like to do a night and day difference. I go very subtle with these parameters. Again, I'm not mixing on the MPC One. I'm just adding certain character to my sounds. Now let's jump over to my other favorite plugin right now is the 4-band EQ. This 4-band EQ is awesome, man. Like this thing is so cool. I love this 4-band EQ. It's very easy to use and it's very effective on my tracks. So pretty much, this is pretty self-explanatory. I'll let you guys listen to what I'm doing with it and then without it. So here's without it. So I don't know if you guys are able to hear that, but it's just adding a little bit more top end to my drums so they're not too muffled. And simply just jump into this 4-band EQ, and right here you have your frequency knobs. So obviously if you guys go to knob 1, 2, 3, or 4, are corresponding 1, 2, 3, and 4. All I'm doing is adding a little bit of 8,000 kilohertz on the high end of the frequency. And then I go to my gain and I adjust it. So I'll let you guys, you know, hear what I'm doing right here. That's pretty much it with my with the high end. Now I'm also going down on my low frequencies, which is 136 hertz, and I'm adding just a small touch to 136 hertz. I'm adding about 2 dB to that frequency. So let's hear what's going on right there. That's pretty much it. I don't know if you guys hear that, but it just adds a little bit more of a punch to your sound. Now, another thing I like to do to my drum breaks is I like to go kind of to my low mid frequencies, probably about, I would say 400, about 300 to 400 hertz. And I like to just take down and dip just a few dB on that frequency. I don't know, it just kind of opens up my drums in a beautiful way. So let's give this a listen. That's pretty much it. I don't know if you guys saw what I did. I went to my gain and I just raised up the gain to where it sounds pretty nasty, obviously. And then I go back to my frequency and I shift through to find the boxy sound that I don't like. Once I find that nasty sound I don't like, I go back to my gain and I take that down. I don't go drastic. I'm only taking away 2 dB and I open up my Q. My Q is just the range that it's engaging or it's affecting. Play around with these parameters and whatever sounds good to you or feels good to you, stick with that. So now with these two plugins engaged, let's hear it without it and then with it. So this is with no plugins at all. So it just adds a little bit more touch to your drums. It gets them a little closer in your face. Very subtle changes, but very effective. Now let's jump into one of my favorite things on this MPC One. Right now we're on our programs, but if we go right here and you click where you have programs, you can go to your returns. You'll notice that once you're on your returns, you have 1 through 4. You get up to 4 returns that you can engage right here. And this is really cool that you can do this. A lot of people will put reverb on 1 or delay on 2. What I have on the return 1, I have this plugin right here. I'm actually going to turn it on. It's the tube drive effect or plugin. And this thing just adds a beautiful touch to the drums. I'll let you guys hear with it and without it. So I'm going to turn this off, listen to the drums without it, and then I'm going to engage it. I don't know if you guys hear that. Again, I'm going very subtle, but I'm going to adjust it a little more so you guys can hear it. So I'm going to, make it a little more drastic. So the way the returns work is any of your tracks you got going on or any of your programs you have going on, you can send some signal to one of your returns. The way you send signal from your tracks to your returns is you click on the track you want to utilize, you go to your sends, and right here, you can go ahead and start bringing up this knob and you can send signal to it. What's going to happen right now is I'm sending where am I? Okay, right here. I'm sending a signal of the drums to the returns. So if I hit play, you're going to hear this return, receiving some of that drum sound. On this return, if I open this plugin up, I have my output at about 9 or 0.9 dB. And this plugin, what it's doing is interesting. It's just trashing up your sound. This is just is nasty. Of course, I would not use it at this level, but I want you guys to hear what's going on right here. So with this tube drive, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to reset this plugin. I want to have it initialized. So this tube drive plugin, what we're going to do is we're going to go to the track mixer. We're going to send some of our drums. I'm going to go to the send and I'm going to send signal. If you guys click sends a few times, I don't know if you guys can see I'm on the first dot. If I hit sends again, I'm on the second dot, third dot, and fourth dot. If I want to send signal to the return 1, I'm going to leave it on the first dot. And I'm going to go ahead and adjust this knob. I don't know, I'm gonna send about 5 dB. So now these drums are being sent to my return 1. And on my return 1, I can put anything right here. I can have an echo, a reverb, and it's gonna get triggered. So in my case, I actually didn't put no echo or reverb. I'm putting this air tube plugin. So when I hit play, some of those drums are gonna go to this plugin, and I'm gonna start adjusting this plugin. It's gonna sound a little drastic, so be careful with your speakers, but I'm gonna adjust it till I feel it sounds right. One thing I am gonna mention, this is similar to parallel compression that I would do on Pro Tools or Ableton. So what I'm gonna do right now, I'm gonna trash up the sound. This is gonna sound disgusting. It's gonna just sound dirty, but then I'm gonna adjust it accordingly. So So I don't know if you guys hear that, but obviously it sounds very drastic, and it's very, you guys can definitely hear what's going on, but it just adds a beautiful punch to the sounds. I'm not going to leave it like that. I'm obviously going to go back to my programs, and I'm going to go to my drums. I'm going to hit send, and I'm not going to send that much signal. I'm obviously going to turn this all the way down. I like to bring this all the way down to 0, and I'm going to hit play. And then as I hit play, I'm gonna adjust this and see how much I want to send to that return. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Wow, that sounds awesome to me. I don't know if you guys are hearing that, but I'm going to go ahead and engage this. I'm going to bypass this so you guys can hear the difference with and without. So let's hear it with. And that's pretty much it right there, guys. Again, you guys can adjust the sends accordingly. You guys can, throw more signal to that return. You guys go ahead and do whatever you guys want, but this is how I'm utilizing these tools. Again, guys, those are some of my favorite plugins. The fourth plugin that I haven't mentioned and I haven't talked about, I actually did a whole video on, is going to be my... what is it? The Mother Ducker. This Mother Ducker is my go-to plugin. I use this. Honestly, I use this in every beat. What this one is doing is the sidechain compression plugin, and it's every time the kick hits, my sample is gonna be ducking down. I'm gonna leave a link to the video I have explaining how you guys can set this up, but I'll let you guys hear how I have this on my sample. So let's hear it. So obviously every time my kick is being hit, my sample is being triggered and it ducks down. So it kind of adds like that pumping effect that we all miss from the SP404s. And it works amazing. It's very easy to use. I'll leave a link somewhere up here so you guys can check out how I use the plugin if you guys want to know more about this plugin. All right, guys, so I hope you guys found some of this information useful. Let me know down in the comments if you guys got any suggestions or what are your top 4 favorite plugins that you guys are using. Let us know down in the comments. And once again, guys, if you guys found value in this video, do not forget to hit the thumbs up. Thank you guys so much for taking your time and checking out my videos. I'll catch you guys on our next video.